What's up, tribe? Thank you for being here and welcome to my channel. Today's post is titled Remember and Forget, and as it's a dialogue between Matias and his higher self, I'd be referring to Matias as me and to his higher self as I am. Me. My life is practically a memory. Everything I have done, do, and will do is determined by my memories, by what I have remembered of existence. In a way, like everyone else, memory defines us. Personally, he does it very consciously. Sometimes when I look around me, an involuntary wish arises that I wanted to forget. Like everyone else, why does everyone forget and a few remember? I am. Why do some know mathematics and others music? Me. What's the point? I am. Remembering is a gift, a capacity. Everyone can learn math if they study. Everyone can be a musician if they practice. Everyone can remember if they try hard. But only some are born with the ability to awaken. Just as there are those who were born already being a musician or being a mathematician, others were born remembering, just as some have the ability to speak and others the gift of silence, as some are entrepreneurs and others are artists. Each individual has a unique and different potential. Many remember like you, and each one remembers differently, just as each musician plays different songs in different styles and different frequencies. Remembering is the gift of your soul. It is the tool you have to deliver your truth to the world. Me. Remember. It is something that beyond memory brings me to understand that my destiny is to unite the parts. I am. Remember, from the Latin, return to the heart. Join the parts. Your life is a constant of expression, which manifests itself by expanding its being, breaking it into thousands of pieces from the origin of existence. The first wave that arose out of nowhere generated an immense and expansive vibration, which, as it advanced, changed speed, creating different frequencies. From the frequencies, the perceptions were born, which created energy, and from them were grouped by resonance, until creating forms, thousands of them, that through the waves of the vibrating sea eroded, creating thousands of grains of sand, the suns, the galaxies, worlds. Expansion is entropy, separation, creation, art, chaos. The parts drift apart and blend into each other like a puzzle of trillions of pieces. There will come a day when, after so much experience, the initial pulse begins to call by resonance all its parts. This will lead to its parts responding in the same way, trying to start a path of reconnection, of finding the other parts that make up the puzzle. Joining the parts, connecting them, begins to integrate the pieces giving them meaning. Discovering the invisible network that unites everything, and thus begins to see logic to give understanding. This is called remembering. When you remember, what you do is access the infinite labyrinth of the mental library, where the data of each piece is stored in the form of books that you call memories. Memories accumulate information from experience, and when you dare to open the books, you begin to see the correlation with other books. Think then. Me. Now I understand why they called me librarian. The great library that I saw in my memories as gone was the mind of the universe, and we, librarians, were the neurons that ordered the memories. We were the reminders. I am. This is why you have said to be the rememberer. Put things in order. Instead, put together an index so that memory readers can be guided in their searches and readings. Me. Could it be that my recent awakening of the will to read is linked to this? I am. You are finally passing the information. The books are opening. We are handing out the library index, and this finally gives you a break to sit down and enjoy reading. Me. I remember that I loved reading the memories of living beings. I felt their emotions, their stories and adventures, and I thought that one day I would like to be able to live the stories that I read in those strange, luminous, and spherical books. I am, and now you do. Don't you think it's wonderful to be able to remember that? You have already forgotten too much. Me. You always said that I only know less than 0.01%. I am, and so it is. The rest, forgotten. Me. What is oblivion? I am, olvidar, which shares the word oblivion in English, comes from oblivisky, composed of the words ob and levisky, against the darken, respectively, in Latin. The Indo-European etymology being le, which means resvalar, smooth, viscous. Oblivion is getting lost in the dark, slipping into the smooth and slimy limits of the wet rocks of a dark cave. To forget, then, is interpreted as falling, getting lost, letting go, having nowhere to hold on. Me. The only way to find yourself is to lose yourself. I am. That's right. You've understood. If the universe has no objectives, his great adventure is to write his stories, his books, create, as an artist and writer, all the words capable of describing what is within himself, dreaming of living what he has expressed. Well, every writer, in a way, yearns to be a participant in their stories. The universe is that romantic writer who has been lost between the pages of his own memories. Because losing yourself in the beautiful details of the writing, in the gestures, in the movements, in the descriptions, is where you can feel part. It is not the great ideas that you are looking for. It is not to understand the outcome. It is to enjoy feeling with all your senses each sip of tea that your characters drink, each caress, each landscape, each song they hear and create. Smell each aroma they describe. That is why the cosmos is so detailed. That is why it marvels at the time of writing The Minimalist The most absurd details are sometimes those that give all the meaning to a story. The reminder knows the beginning, the middle, and the end, understands the line of argument, and that takes away the focus of the beautiful details. For this reason, a good reader must lose himself in the pages of the books. I must enter the dark caverns and launch into the adventure and excitement of being able to fall on the next slimy rock. Me, being a reminder makes me live so much in the storyline of the story that I forgot to live the present. I refuse to live it because I know the outcome. It is like a constant spoiler that doesn't allow you to enjoy the movie. That is why the universe chooses to forget, to live in the present. When you lose the plot, you must pay more attention to the plot to understand. And thus, you fall in love with the character, with each gesture, movement, emotion that you would have otherwise missed. Me, remembering and forgetting then, are not antagonists in the fictionalized history of the universe, but they are the two fundamental parts of reading comprehension. When one shows us the logic of the entire narrative, the other shows us to see the details and enjoy them. That is why it is so important to live in oblivion until we are able to enjoy the present. And only there can we see the past and the future, because both of them take hold of the here and now. Me. But I began to remember from a very young age. I did not have time to understand the present. I lived too much in the past, all my childhood and adolescence, and in the future during my youth. And now, me. I have lived the present in the moments in which I have disconnected, when I did not feel you, when I did not hear my guides, those moments when others told me, you are disconnected. Something that sounded like judgment in many cases. Actually, for me, it was a relief. I felt relaxed that this is the case, because I did not depend on anything from the past or the future. I could enjoy the present. However, it is true that it hurt me to have lost the argument of my life. And you got it back when you were about to remember. Well, remembering is an exercise in trying to join the parts that seem illogical to give them logic. Thus you forget to live, you remember to understand life, and you can forget again, launching yourself to enjoy something new. The goal is not for everyone to remember. It is for them to know how to remember. Living in the present implies knowing how to live, disconnected from what happened and what will happen, to feel in depth what is, because the essence can only be understood with what one is, not with what has gone and what will be. The other times will come to support and give logic to what is. And each time you transform yourself, the same will happen. Me, I usually tell people not to wait to remember, not to force, that the important thing is to focus on the now, and the answers will come as long as I am present in myself. I am, well, you are the center of the network of your memories. Who gives them logic? Without an access, there is nowhere to hold or download the data. You must become the character in your book in order to discover its history and manifest its future. The reader can only understand the plot towards the past. The writer can only manifest the plot towards the future. And the character is the present, who lives the plot. You must be the three, the Trinity. And to do so, both must release something, and both must connect something. So then I must not fear or deny forgetting, because it is what allows me to discover the potential of my present, as well as I must prepare myself to remember, to make sense of it. I am. Write your story, then read it, but above all, live it.